Your dog looked at you this morning, and you had no idea what they were trying to say. You saw a wagging tail. A wet nose pressed against your leg. Maybe they dropped a toy at your feet and stared at you like you were supposed to understand something important. You smiled. You moved on. But here is what scientists now know. Your dog was communicating something deeply specific. Something rooted in millions of years of evolution, attachment biology, and neurochemistry that most dog owners will never fully understand. What if I told you that the way your dog sleeps next to you, follows you down the hallway, or presses their nose into your unwashed hoodie? Every single one of those behaviors has a precise scientific explanation. And what if that explanation reveals a bond between you and your dog that is, by measurable biological standards, one of the most profound interspecies connections on the planet? This is not sentiment. This is science. Let us go through it, behavior by behavior. You walk through the front door after a long day. Before you can even set your bag down, your dog is already there, tail spinning, eyes bright, a tennis ball or a rope toy shoved directly into your hand. You probably laughed and said, "They're giving me a gift." Here is where the science corrects us, and makes the truth even more remarkable. Dogs do not possess the human concept of symbolic gift-giving. There is no cognitive framework in the canine brain that says, "I will wrap this in meaning and present it as an offering." That interpretation belongs to us, not to them. What is actually happening is something called affiliative behavior, a term behavioral scientists use to describe social bonding actions between individuals who share trust. When your dog brings you a toy, they are initiating a cooperative social interaction. They are saying, in the oldest biological language available to them, "I trust you enough to share something I value with you." This distinction matters because it is far more honest than gift-giving, and in many ways more beautiful. Now add this layer. If you own a golden retriever, a Labrador, or any retriever breed, this behavior is not just psychological. It is genetic. These dogs were selectively bred over generations for what ethologists call a soft mouth, the biological ability to carry objects without damaging them and deliver them precisely to a human hand. They are, at the DNA level, wired to bring things to you. The trust behavior and the genetic behavior align perfectly. When your retriever drops a toy at your feet, they are not performing a trick. They are completing a biological imperative that points directly at you. That is not a small thing. This one confuses a lot of people. You invite your dog onto the bed or the couch, they settle in, and then they turn completely away from you. Back facing your chest. Head pointed toward the room. You think, did I do something wrong? Are they mad at me? You did nothing wrong. In fact, you did everything right. To understand this, you need to go back to evolutionary biology, specifically, to how wolves and wild canids have slept for tens of thousands of years. In the wild, sleep is the most dangerous state an animal can be in. Every predator knows this. Every prey animal knows this. Sleep means vulnerability. It means blind spots. It means the world can approach you from behind and you will not know until it is too late. So wolves solved this problem elegantly. They sleep back to back with their most trusted companions, forming a circle that covers every angle. No blind spots. Every direction monitored. When your dog turns their back to you while sleeping, they are running that same ancient program. They are saying, "I am covering the room. You cover my back. We are safe together." The turn back is not rejection. It is the deepest form of trust a dog can physically express during sleep. They have placed their most vulnerable angle, their blind spot, in your care. They are not ignoring you. They are relying on you completely. This is the behavior that most people feel in their chest before they can explain it with their head. You are having the worst night of your life. You are sitting on the bathroom floor or curled under a blanket or crying quietly at the kitchen table, and your dog appears. They do not make noise. They do not demand attention. They simply come, sit close, and rest their weight against you. Feels like they know. Because they do. In 2012, researchers at Goldsmiths, University of London, Custance and Mayer, conducted a landmark peer-reviewed study on this exact behavior. They found that dogs approached crying humans with significantly greater frequency and speed than humans who were humming or having normal conversations. The dogs also displayed what the researchers classified as submissive, comforting behaviors, lowering their heads, pressing their bodies close, moving gently rather than playfully. This is not trained behavior. These dogs were not rewarded for this response. It emerged naturally. The scientific term is emotional contagion, the ability of one being to be physiologically affected by the emotional state of another. Combined with empathic-like behavior, it describes what your dog is doing in that moment. They are detecting your distress at the biological level, and they are responding to it instinctively. How are they detecting it? 3 ways simultaneously. First, your cortisol, the primary human stress hormone, creates specific chemical compounds that are released through your sweat and skin. Your dog, with up to 300 million olfactory receptors compared to your 6 million, can smell that cortisol shift the moment it happens. They know you are stressed before you have fully registered it yourself. Second, your breathing changes when you cry. Normal human respiration runs at 12 to 20 breaths per minute. Emotional distress alters that rhythm. The pattern becomes irregular, the depth changes, the pauses between breaths lengthen. Your dog's auditory system and biological sensitivity picks up that deviation immediately. Third, your posture drops. Your shoulders round. Your body curves inward. Dogs read postural language constantly, and a collapsed posture is a universal biological signal of distress. They are not guessing that you are upset. They are reading the data your body is broadcasting, data that, for most humans in the room, would be invisible. And then they come to you anyway. Not because they were trained to. Not because they want something from you. Because your distress registered in their nervous system, and their nervous system said, go be near them. You have never been alone in the bathroom since you got a dog. This is simply a fact of life that every dog owner accepts with a mixture of amusement and mild exasperation. But the behavioral science behind this is genuinely fascinating. What looks like nosiness or dependency is actually a well-documented phenomenon called proximity-seeking behavior, and it is a core component of attachment theory as it applies to dogs. Researchers at the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna conducted extensive attachment studies showing that dogs relate to their primary human owners in a way that is structurally identical to how human infants relate to their caregivers. The owner functions as a secure base, a source of emotional regulation, safety, and neurological calm. When you are present, your dog's brain functions differently than when you are absent. Measurably differently. Studies have recorded that in the presence of a bonded human, dogs show lower cortisol levels, reduced heart rate, and elevated oxytocin, the same neurochemical that facilitates bonding between human mothers and infants. When you leave the room, even briefly, that neurological security temporarily disrupts. Following you is not clinginess. It is your dog actively maintaining the biological conditions in which their nervous system feels safe. The closed bathroom door is not a minor inconvenience to them. It is a sudden interruption of scent access, visual confirmation, and social contact. 3 channels they use simultaneously to confirm you are present and well. Their response, the scratching, the whining, the waiting just outside, is a direct neurological response to that disruption. They are not being dramatic. Their biology is reacting to information. There is a good chance your dog has a specific spot near the front door, or near the entry to whatever room you occupy most. They may not sleep deeply there, they may simply rest, alert, head up, watching. People often interpret this as the dog being antisocial or wanting to leave. Neither is true. This behavior connects to something ethologists call sentinel positioning, a strategy documented in wolves, wild canids, and social predators across multiple species. In a social group, certain individuals position themselves at strategic points, high ground, entry points, environmental edges. From these positions, they can monitor the widest possible area with minimal movement. Your dog in your living room is doing the same thing. The door is the primary point of environmental change, the place where new information enters, where smells arrive first, where sounds originate. By resting there, your dog is not isolating themselves from you. They are positioning themselves to be your earliest warning system. This behavior is not a conscious decision in the human sense. It is instinct running exactly as it was designed to run. And that instinct is oriented around you, your home, and the social unit you represent. Licking is one of the oldest canine communication behaviors in existence, and it begins on the first day of life. Mother dogs lick their puppies from birth, to stimulate breathing, to encourage elimination, to clean them, to warm them, and to establish the foundational bond that will shape that puppy's social behavior for the rest of its life. The neurological association between licking and safety, comfort, and social connection is established at the very beginning of a dog's conscious experience. When an adult dog licks you, they are drawing on that same deep behavioral reservoir. Licking functions as appeasement, greeting, social bonding, and conflict reduction. It is one of the most versatile communicative tools in the canine behavioral vocabulary. There is also a biochemical layer. Your skin carries information that your dog is actively reading. The salt concentration in your sweat, the hormonal compounds in your skin cells, the chemical signatures of your emotional state. Research has confirmed that dogs can detect cortisol changes through skin contact and scent, meaning when your dog licks your hand, they are simultaneously expressing affection and gathering biological data about how you are doing. They are checking on you. In the most ancient language available to them. Across every behavior described above, 3 core scientific principles appear again and again. These are not metaphors. They are measurable biological realities. Olfactory dominance. Dogs possess up to 300 million scent receptors. Humans have approximately 6 million. Your dog's primary interface with reality is not visual, it is olfactory. They are reading a version of the world that is 40 to 50 times more chemically detailed than anything you can perceive. Every time they press their nose into your clothing, your skin, or your space, they are reading you at a molecular level. The secure base effect. Dogs form attachment bonds with their primary humans that are structurally and neurologically identical to the bonds human infants form with their caregivers. You are not just a food source or a companion. You are the biological anchor of your dog's emotional world. Your presence regulates their nervous system. Your absence disrupts it. Oxytocin and cortisol regulation. Positive interaction between bonded dogs and humans elevates oxytocin in both species simultaneously. This is the same neurochemical involved in human parent-infant bonding, romantic attachment, and deep friendship. It is not produced casually. It is produced by genuine connection. And every time you and your dog interact with warmth and trust, both of your bodies are flooded with it. You did not rescue a pet. You entered a bond that operates on neurochemical, evolutionary, and behavioral levels that science is still working to fully understand. The dog sleeping at your feet right now is not simply resting. They are running ancient biological programs shaped over thousands of years of living alongside humans, that are oriented at every level around you. They cannot tell you what they feel in words. But their body is saying it constantly, in a language that predates language itself. The question is not whether your dog loves you. The question is whether you are paying close enough attention to see it.